really weird. I've never
And
seen that before.
Dana White had a whole like crusade about stopping piracy, right? The UFC alone was
Yeah.
going to be the end of piracy. That was a whole thing this whole week leading up to it. And of course, UFC 257 takes place and no one on ESPN Plus can stream it.
That was so nuts, man, how that happened. Hi, everyone. Welcome into the Raheel
Oh,
Show
hello.
podcast. We were just talking about the Conor McGregor fight and how ESPN Plus crashed for a bunch of people that were pumped to watch it and pay for the fight because Dana White is going out and stalking people who are streaming. He's
Bizarre.
done that before. He sued. If you look it up, he sued a
Oh, yeah?
bunch of people. Yeah, like they made examples out of people. If I recall correctly, I want to say in like 2015 or 16.
Huh.
There was a pretty big fight. I think it was the Connor fight against Jose Aldo,
Uh-huh.
and after that fight, I think they came down hard on people, or
Wow.
if it was right before that fight or right after that fight, and it kind of died down like the illegal streaming, although it's everywhere. Like literally, all you have to do is just search for it, you'll find it. It's not that hard.
That was the beautiful irony of it, right? Like
hmm
people couldn't watch it unless they were finding a pirated stream that was working.
Yeah. And what I was doing, I was just like, man, because JJ Watt was tweeting about it so much. I was like, let me see if his handle was tagged in a bunch of illegal streams. And surely enough, a bunch of people were just tagging him, like, here you go, JJ, here you go.
That's awesome.
So that's another way to find illegal streams for those of you that
So,
do that.
do you want to know how I watched it? It was
How did
actually
you watch it?
Cody Stutes was clutch as hell on Saturday. So I sent a text in the main event group chat, RIP main event, and I'm like, "Hey guys, how are y'all watching the fight?" And Jake Asman sends me some streams, whatever. They don't work. So out of nowhere, Cody just drops a link to a TikTok, and I was like, "Okay, that's weird. You're randomly sending me a TikTok when I'm asking you a question, but I'll watch it. I'm a good friend." And I click on the link, and it's a guy streaming the fight on TikTok.
What?
And the best part about it was he was like giving his own scores and commentaries between the rounds. It was awesome. Like the guy, I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not gonna out him so Dana doesn't come for him. But the guy was freaking awesome. Like he was
Wait,
so
you
into
can
it.
stream live on TikTok, or
I
was he
didn't
just
know
doing
that
delay?
either. No, he
So
was
it
he
was
was live.
live.
He was live on TikTok,
Whoa.
and
I
he
didn't
was
know that. That's
between the
crazy.
rounds. He was giving analysis, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna give this round to Connor 10-9 or 10 whatever the scoring was. I don't remember what he was giving it, but like I thought it was just so awesome. Like he had it set up like on a tripod. So during the round, he'd get in front of the tripod, in front of the camera, and like be seriously breaking down the fight. It was like professional. Like the guy was awesome.
Whoa,
Shout
that's
out to that guy.
awesome.
He came in clutch.
That's how Periscope got in trouble was because they
I
were
bet.
a bunch of people, Travis Johnson being one of them. They would they would broadcast the fight on Periscope, but the problem with Periscope, their mobile quality sucks.
Yeah, it does.
So it's not good at all. Like it's intended to broadcast selfies almost, or the front camera. So like the bandwidth on the back end is just not as good. So it was so blurry and nasty. But there was like 10,000 people watching that,
That's
and
wild.
and they got in trouble. Periscope got in trouble for that, and I think they're
There
going
was
dead, right?
there was at one point there was 1,000 people on this TikTok guy's stream. Like 1.4 thousand people were
Man,
1,400 people
that is
were tuning in
crazy.
at the height of when I noticed where the amount of people that were in there. But man, that was epic. Like that was just like the perfect chef kiss to the UFC night. The
I
fact that
loved it. It was such a cluster, and then Connor losing, and Dana trying to figure out like, man, what are we gonna do? Because nobody's getting those kind of numbers. It doesn't like
yeah
it's because it's the perfect balance of half of the people want to see him lose, half of the people want to see him win, right? So everybody's
yeah
gonna tune in to watch that, and no matter like you can put I gotta look this up, but Habib's last fight, I don't think it did well. He's not a big draw. I don't think he is. The one where he just who did he fight? He just smashed that dude.
There's, I don't remember. It was recently, wasn't it? In,
Yeah,
in December, he just
yeah.
retired. I don't remember who it was.
I'm pulling up his pay-per-view buys right now. Let me see.
It is odd because he's regarded as one of the best, if not the best, and he just
Mhm.
doesn't. He's not as polarizing, so he doesn't sell as much. I
Even
was
GSP never did that either. By the way, George St. Pierre, who's like arguably one of the greatest fighters of all time, just changed the game, the way he
yeah.
trained and everything about him. He never did good pay-per-view numbers. It was just like, meh, whatever. Like they were like, I'll watch it, but I don't think he cracked a million. I'm looking right now. Yeah, he never cracked a million buys.
Who St. Pierre or Khabib?
Yeah, GSP never cracked a
GSP.
million buys. Isn't that nuts?
That is.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, he's not in a top 10 anywhere outside of
So
the McGregor fight.
when does that Connor bubble burst? Do you think it has already? I don't think it has.
I don't think it has either. Um, Give it one more loss, and then I think it's done.
So it looks like they're gonna do the trilogy with Poirier.
Hmm.
Like if he loses to him again, you think that's it? That's a wrap?
I think that's it. Yeah, because he's not a top guy anymore in terms of competing for the belt. Now people might want to watch him because again, you want to see him win, you want to see him lose. He's your guy. You hate him because he talks too much. Although he didn't talk at all for this fight. He was so respectful. In fact,
He was.
even remember after the fight, we saw some clips and then some clips released today. He was incredibly grateful,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Hey man, that's awesome. Like, here's what to expect after a win like this. You know, don't let the attention knock you down and blah blah blah." I was like, "Dang, this is a different Conor McGregor."
So I want from an outsider's perspective, I want your take, someone who is more in tune with the UFC, but from the outside looking in, it seems like Dana White doesn't get enough. I don't know if criticism is a right word, but pressure to actually put on these like elite fights.
Hmm.
Is that a fair analysis on my end? Because we never got the Nate Diaz trilogy with Connor. We never got the Khabib trilogy.
Hmm.
Now it seems like we're going to get the Poirier trilogy, which I don't know if anyone really wanted, but Connor just lost to him, so they kind of have to do the third fight, I guess. Is that a fair criticism on my end for someone
It
from the outside looking in?
it's not actually. So
No?
they put the best matchups available. Like they'll put the top guys against each other. There's no other competing body, right? So like if you're the number one guy, you're gonna have to face a number two or three guy at some point, right? And you can't dodge him
Right.
because you can't go run and compete for another belt like you can in boxing. When it comes to Connor and trying to get those trilogies, trying to get Nate again, trying to get Khabib, anything like that, there's two sides to it, right? Like with the Nate Diaz, if I remember correctly, it was he was getting ready for the Mayweather fight. So like you can't do it, right? With Khabib, he lost this one, so you can't do the fight now. Like and the other guy has to be willing to fight him as well, right? If Khabib doesn't want to fight him, he's not going to fight him. Like you can't do anything about it. But Dana does his damnedest to get everybody matched up and get like the best matchups, the best fan matchups, making sure like up and coming guys that the fans love that they're on the main event cards, that they are getting their shot to show what they have. And
Yeah.
some of that goes to the credit of Mick Maynard, who is a friend of mine. Legacy Fighting, by the way, he started that. He's a great guy. I did the radio show with him. With the knock, what was it called? The tap? No, what was it? Bare Knuckle. Bare
Yeah.
Knuckle. Yeah, we did that radio show with him and Richard Burmaster, who's a good friend of mine, local trainer and awesome overall guy. So Mick he's like him and another guy are in charge of booking these
Booking.
fights. Yeah, right. It's a lot like wrestling where you go, okay, hey man, we got this card coming up. And he told me about this. He goes, okay, this guy against this guy, or do you think we should give this guy a push? And their push is you get a shot. You get a shot. Like
Sure.
so a number 8 guy could take on the number 2 guy and get that push. So they do a really good job of that. Unfortunately, what happens is there's not many Connors. So those, like those pay-per-views are kind of lost on the mainstream.
Hmm.
And even if there is the next Connor, right? Who would be, I'm trying to think like who caught people's attention, right? Who was the old racist dude, man? The one, the MAGA hat. I'm blanking on his name right now.
Masvidal?
No, not him. But okay, he's actually a good example, right? So by the time he wins enough fights and gets to that point where you can actually like put him in a main event, fans are just getting there and he loses, then that hype dies down, right? That's what
Yeah.
was so special about Conor, about Ronda, is like every time they got the shot, they showed up and had memorable moments, and they kept doing it. They kept doing it, right? They kept defending titles, or they kept having big moments, and fans wanted more of it. So that's why it's hard. John Jones is another great example. Like, he keeps winning. Man, what was Covington? Kobe Covington?
Yeah.
Yeah, him. Like by the time he gets there and he loses, then the hype dies down, right? So that's the other part of it. You can give a guy a push. You can make sure that he's in a great spot to show what he has, but he still has to win, or she still has to win.
Okay. Because it always just feels like there was always something that that was in the way of them doing that trilogy, whether it was Nate, whether it was Khabib. And these are fights that should have happened. Like the fight with the third match with Khabib, the third match. I'm in my wrestling phrase. The third fight after the second one after just how bizarre the end of that first one was, where a literal brawl happened. Like there was a excuse me, there was a chance there to actually do something big. And like there was the whole thing where Conor almost went to jail for throwing the barricade thing. Like they left. It feels like again, from the outside looking in, I'm not the biggest UFC guy. I'll admit that. It just feels like they left such a big chance there on the floor, on the cutting room floor.
I'm with you. That I wish it would have happened. Next time I see Mick, I'll ask him, like, why did it never happen, right? And I think Conor had legal problems too. Remember, after that was the punch. There was a lot of different things happening. So maybe that played a role into it as well. But I'll ask him. And by the way, I got remember I tweeted about why did Conor show up 25 minutes before the fight?
Oh yeah.
Like, it was so strange, and I got an answer for that. It was because the UFC has it down to a strict schedule. Like, you're not allowed to be in the arena while a previous fighter is still there.
Huh.
So like he said, it is down to a science now. So they warm up back at the hotel. They warm up in their own personal space. And like he comes in, he gets taped up, and it's time. That's it. Like
they don't have space in the venue for them to be on their own like that.
They do, but again, multiple people can't be in there. Sure. So usually those locker rooms are broken out. Like, you'll have different fighters and different, like the whole blue corner might be in one room. They might have a couple of different rooms. I know for the stars, like, they have their own room. Conor would be in his own room anyways. But I think to limit any kind of interaction with anybody, they just don't let you in. Okay. That was my understanding of it. Although after the fight, there was like 70 people with like all in one area. So, like, you can only control so much. But he said that's why Conor showed up when he did. And same thing with Dustin. He showed up 25 minutes before too.
He didn't pull up in a Rolls Royce?
No, he didn't pull up he pulled up in a Dodge Charger, probably. That was it.
He's a Cajun boy. I don't think he drives a Charger.
What did Lafayette, Louisiana drive?
I just assumed like a pickup truck of some sort.
Okay. I watched a movie called Cutthroat City. I don't know if you've heard about this.
No.
I don't recommend it. But it was directed by RZA. And
oh, really?
Yeah, it's his third movie that he directed. It's about post-Katrina New Orleans.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is
interesting,
it like
right?
Is a post-Katrina like karate movie? Because I know he loves his karate movies.
No, but it is a crime robbery flick. Huh.
It sounds interesting.
I love anything New Orleans. I love anything New Orleans. I love the characters that come with New Orleans, and there's some good characters in this movie. But the overall movie was a struggle bus. Like, the acting wasn't that good.
Okay.
It's like 2 hours too long. It could have been a 30-minute movie, in my opinion. It could have been a short film. But I just saw it on Netflix, and oh, cool, that's interesting. Post-Katrina New Orleans. I'm in. Anything New Orleans, I'm in. And some of the actors in there, I'm like, okay, cool. You know what? I'll watch it. Wesley Snipes is in there. Ethan Hawke. One of the Hawks.
Does the RZA play himself in it?
I don't think he was in there. Okay. I don't remember seeing him in there. So it was interesting, but not worth it. I was like, man, I'm gonna come with a dope recommendation, telling people about this movie nobody's seen. There's a reason nobody's seen it. It wasn't that good.
The soundtrack
Soundtrack
slap
was
at
pretty good.
least. Okay, good.
Soundtrack,
Good,
yeah,
good, good.
soundtrack slap. Soundtrack slap. Of course, you
Course.
can't. Come on.
It's the
It's the
RZA.
RZA. Sammy says, and by the way, we're getting questions for those of you that are watching live, those of you that are listening on podcast. Thank you so much, by the way. You can watch us and join us live on Mondays as well at 8 p.m. Sammy says, I was late to the UFC game. Why was Liddell, Rampage, Forrest big names in the UFC game? Why? Wait, hold on. Why were they big names? Forgive my ignorance, but were they the ones that kind of brought it to mainstream? Yeah. So basically, those guys are the ones that brought it to mainstream. The biggest thing when Ultimate Fighter Season 1 hit, that was a smashing success. People got interested, and they just, like everybody wanted to watch them. And they were over-the-top characters like Conor McGregor, like the Iceman with the mohawk, and he would come in. And then Tito Ortiz was just a wild dude. Then Couture was just like the old guy, like, what am I doing here? I'm here to kick some ass. That's it. So they were just, the characters were better too. And Sammy adds, it seems like no one even mentions them anymore, like big names or pioneers to the sport. And this happens, by the way, this happens in basketball. Why don't we mention guys from the 50s and 60s when we compare them to LeBron James, Michael Jordan, right? Like, the sport evolves, the athletes evolve, and could a guy like Tito Ortiz make it in today's UFC? Absolutely. Would he be as big of a draw? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know. Like, or if you put John Jones in the early UFC years, he would smash every guy like he's smashing right now, right?
Yeah.
Because the sport has just evolved so much, right? Like, you put Kyrie in the 40s or 50s or 60s, and like nobody stops him, right? Because the game changes so much. So that's why I think people forget when we think about those pioneers.
Justin asked who you got from Ryan Garcia in the Pacquiao fight that's apparently happening.
I'm so happy Ryan Garcia got the shot. He is strictly social media, right?
I think so. I'm
Yeah, like I know he fights. I know he fights, but man, he's like I only know him from social media. I've never watched a Ryan Garcia fight. I don't think.
Isn't he like good buddies with the Paul brothers or whatever?
Oh,
I don't really pay attention to him.
This is a Paul brothers free zone, sir.
Well, buddy, you mentioned their friend, so
yeah,
that had to be said.
I have no idea who's gonna win that fight. To be honest with you, Pacquiao was just kind of doing it for the money, I guess.
Yeah, I was reading today. Kevin Iole from Yahoo, their MMA writer, was saying it might not even be an official fight. Like, it could be like a big money exhibition.
Okay.
Which is, I guess, a thing now, or maybe has always been a thing, but it just like
no, it's starting to become a big. You know what it is? This is going to our next point that I wanted to bring up. All of these big money exhibitions, the Paul brothers taking on Nate Robinson or Conor McGregor one day. It's all about the streaming platforms, and it is just like, what can we do to get a big pop? And can we retain some of those customers, right? Because that's the game, right? Can you retain these people? And I don't think they can. And I think what's going to happen, by the way, we're going to hit a streaming bubble for sure. Oh, yeah. It's going to burst. Like, you can't, not everyone can't have a streaming platform. Like, it's just impossible to maintain, right? I don't think you can.
You gotta get a buddy system where everybody just buys a different one and you guys share it.
That's like Netflix. I don't think Netflix is ever going anywhere. I don't think Amazon Prime Video is going anywhere because it's supported by Amazon Prime. It's included in your user payment, right? So that's almost like a free thing, right?
Hulu's linked up with Disney now, so those aren't going anywhere.
That's another. ESPN Plus isn't going anywhere, right? Because they're all bundled together. But like Peacock, right? And the big news today was the WWE Network, who was one of the pioneers in this. The WWE Network did a great job of building up a customer base, of offering something so unique like pay-per-views on there for free, right? Like, you just got paid $10 a month and it's yours. You do whatever you want, right? And the math works out. How many pay-per-views do you order per year? 1, maybe 2, right? As opposed to, so you spend $60 a year or $120 a year, right, for the WWE network. So the math works out where you're like, hey, we're making money on this if you're the WWE.
It's actually such a damn good deal, the WWE Network. It's probably the best, if not one of the best bangs for your buck, because not only are you getting that, but you're getting so much back catalog. You're getting all of their documentaries, which they do an incredible job of producing their documentaries. The issue with them now isn't that, it's the product isn't that good, but that's aside from the point. But you're right, like they were freaking on the ball from the beginning. They had like a period where it just wasn't working. The app was literally like, the interface of the app was useless damn near. And they've gotten to the point now where they have over 1 million subscribers easily.
Mm-hmm. And so they got bought, or they have a partnership, right? The licensing agreement with Peacock.
Yeah, with NBC.
Yeah, for $1 billion.
That's
NFL money right there.
I can't fathom that amount of money. Like, Vince McMahon is going to outlive all of us. Like,
yeah,
how in the past 5 years, their ratings have just dwindled and just disappeared by just big drastic amounts, and it just really got really bad in the last 2 years, to the point where they're struggling to get like 1 million viewers a week.
Damn.
And he just sold the rights for 5 years for $1 billion. Like,
yep.
All the while, like 2 years, I think at this point it's been 2 years, they did another money deal with Fox where SmackDown went over to Fox. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, he just keeps finding a way. And that's
he's smart,
outstanding, man. I mean, he screwed us over professionally. But
I know. He still didn't have to bankrupt the XFL, bro. Still didn't have to do it, man. You didn't listen to The Undertaker on Joe Rogan Experience, did you?
No, I saw the clips, and I was just reminded of how I wish he just didn't talk again.
He wasn't that bad. I saw that you sent it to me. I was like, oh no, Undertaker, no, please don't be like this. He was really, like, he was talking about the business side of things. He was talking about a lot of his injuries. Man, if you want to hear about wrestlers and their injuries, that's a great podcast. But a lot about the business side of things. And it's so interesting, man. He just, like, Vince McMahon just never stops. He just literally never stops working. That's it. He just talked about it on and on about, like, Vince will make it work. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. And he's always, like, thinking of new ways to do it. And when the WWE Network first came out, it was a laughingstock. I don't know if you remember this. It was like, what? Who's going to pay $10 a month to watch wrestling? And they made a cool thing out of it. Just how much, Jose? $9.99.
Oh, $9.99 was the gimmick?
Yeah, remember they made that whole thing?
They had a t-shirt gimmick, yeah.
It was like literally every promo. I think there was one post-Mania Raw or whenever they introduced it, and every wrestler that came out there had to mention $9.99 somehow. And it was so brilliant. It turned into this, like, what? So they're good at this, right? They're good at marketing their own products, and you just build up a base and then you sell it. Just like any tech company, build up your base and then you get acquired.
I mean, that man is going to outlive me somehow.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
I just can't, like, he just keeps rolling. Every time it's just something bigger and bigger. And it just doesn't make sense. Like, why would NBC do this? Like, it just doesn't, like, what attracts NBC to spend that much money? And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, man. Like,
it's all about users, man. They got Michael Smith's new shows on there on Peacock, streaming on their his new sports talk show. So, like, Brother from Another,
really?
Brother from Another's on there. It comes on every day, I believe. It's like it's just a sports talk show, right? What else is on there? Isn't The Office on Peacock now?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. You can get the first 2 seasons for free, but for everything else, you got to pay that $4.99 or whatever it is.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's an interesting deal, but man, that bubble.
And it's crazy because to add to that, like late last week, there was that story in I think it's a Sports Business Journal, how they've told, like, the EPL and the NHL, like, hey, we're shutting down NBC Sports Network. Like,
really?
Like. Yeah, you don't remember I sent you that story last week.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the NBC Sports Network is getting shut down.
Are they migrating all to Peacock then? Is that what's happening?
The Premier League is going to be all on Peacock.
Wow.
There might still be games on Telemundo, but everything else is going to be on Peacock until the Premier League is fed up with that, and I don't know, maybe they go to Fox Sports or something.
So the next thing that's going to happen is what Dan Lebitard is doing with us with Skipper is they're starting their own content company. Michael Smith has his own content company. Jamel Hill has her own content company, and what's going to happen is all of these providers, all these streaming services are going to need content. That's the biggest thing. Disney, Bob Iger was saying like they weren't ready to launch Disney Plus, but they had to, and that's why it launched with just Mandalorian and a bunch of movies.
Yeah,
That weren't like with the rights weren't figured out or anything, but they had to launch it, right? Because they had to meet their quarter goals. And he said, somebody told me that he said, so they're like, why the Mandalorian, right? Like, why is that the marquee product? He goes, because we had nothing else.
wow.
Yeah, like
Really?
just,
Wow.
yeah, they just didn't have anything else. They're like, so that's our flagship product, and it was a home run. But that's what's going to happen with all of these services. You're going to need content. And that's where Dan Lebitard's content comes in, Michael Smith, Jamel Hill, so on and on and on.
Luis makes a correction. The NHL is moving to the USA Network. I forgot about that aspect of it.
Dang.
So yeah, they're just shutting down a whole network.
Mm-hmm. Let me get all these comments. And we're back. Wow, a lot of people interacting. Thank you so much for watching. Dinesh says streaming services will be the new channels.
Looks like it.
Yeah. But see, the problem is, I don't know. Is it hard for you? Like, if you are watching something on Netflix and you're like, oh, I want to go to Amazon or I want to go to Hulu. It's not that hard for me. My TV has all the apps in there except for HBO Max, which is so annoying.
Oh, okay, Moneybags.
Yeah, you know
Smart
what I'm
TV.
saying? We flexing like that. Super smart TV, son. Not smart TV. Super smart. 1% TV. But I don't know, man. Like, maybe it's just me. I'm old. There is something to just flipping channels, man. Even though you know where you're going to end up, but it's just something about that.
That's a good point. I don't watch enough TV to miss that. Like, I don't channel surf that much.
Mm-hmm.
But
Dang, my man's on his hustle. He's on his grind.
No, I'm just a generation. I'm a generation younger than you. I didn't channel surf like that.
What you doing? I'm on the grind right now. I ain't got time for TV. I ain't got time for channel surfing.
I'm making money while I'm on this podcast, baby.
Making money moves right now.
Yeah.
Justin says, hello, this is not a show for that, talking about basketball. Jose and Raheel don't know basketball at all. They only know about Pokemon and sci-fi movies. So stupid.
Yeah,
Justin, it's been a while. Yeah, welcome back.
Baseball movie you don't shut up about.
Which one?
The Spaceballs movie you don't shut up about.
I just wanted you to go. I just wanted people to hear clearly that you are trashing one of the greats of all time, Christopher Nolan. El Jefe says, what's your favorite channel? Like HGTV, Food Network, TLC, ID Own, Animal Planet, and Discovery. They have a new network, by the way, Discovery
They do,
Plus.
Discovery.
Yeah, Discovery Plus. And see, that's the thing. I could get Discovery Plus and watch all my Food Network shows, all my cooking channel shows, Man Fire Food, all the greats, right? But there's something about like, oh, Friday night, you know what time it is. We're going to Flavor Town, honey. It's going to be Out of Bounds. We're watching Guy Fieri, watching Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. And there's just something cool about that, right? We could easily put it on, right? We could easily stream it, but it's not the same.
And that's going to be gone, buddy.
Yeah. I think I'm just old, man. I'm just old. That's what it is. Nabil's back in. Nabil, what's up, buddy? He says Hunting with Undertaker would be an awesome show. He was pitching that. He wants to do a hunting show. Wearing a thin blue line scarf, I bet.
He'll probably get it. I mean, the Stone Cold had like that Broken Skull Challenge TV show on I think the Country Music Television Network.
Yeah,
it was on.
That show's pretty good though. It's pretty interesting.
It was interesting. I could see the Undertaker doing like a hunting show on an obscure channel like that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty dope, man. I would watch that. Man, we got a lot. Let me see what else we got coming in here. Dang. A lot of comments, man. I'm trying to catch up right now. Justin Blackmore, of course, he's back in. That is, for those of you who don't know, that's Lazy J. So he's back over here. He's gonna try to throw me under. I thought
Lazy J was a Latino.
That's what I thought he was white. He is, right?
I mean, Justin Blackmore sounds like a white man name.
Total white man name. Total. Like he's so white, he's gonna get an NFL coaching interview.
Lazy J's interview. The Texans are gonna tweet out, "We just
Yeah.
interviewed Lazy J for our head
Yeah.
coaching vacancy."
And why? What's his qualifications? He's a really white name. That's why. That's why we
Justin
won.
Blackmore.
Here's one question. Rumors from a certain someone I know is stating Apple wants in on the live sports market. Your thoughts with them competing directly with Disney? Amazon's in the live sports market. They've got NFL games on there. They've got original NFL content as well. And it's available all for right now with your Amazon Prime. #ad. No, I'm joking.
#ad.
So, yeah, I mean, they need something for Apple TV, and they've got all the money in the world, so why not go get sports, right? Why not go get some
Just
rights?
give me 20 seasons of Ted Lasso. That's all I need from you, Apple TV.
Yeah, hurry up and finish Ted Lasso season 2, and then we'll get to it. But, yeah, why wouldn't they? I think it would be a great idea, right? Because they need
Snag
something
up
for
the
Apple
Premier
TV.
League.
Yeah,
Apple
that'd be
TV feels
great.
like Apple TV feels like the place for the hipster. The hipster
Or put
American.
League One on there. Put League One on there so we can see PSG beating up a bunch of farmers.
Yeah, a bunch of farmers now. Get the
That's what-
Premier League. That's what we need. Or
That's what
maybe-
Shrexican calls League One. He goes, it's PSG and a bunch of cheese farmers. Oh, man. Season 2's out already for Ted Lasso?
No.
What are you talking about, El Jefe? He's just throwing out some crap. Or is he? Oh, and he's talking about Yellowstone. Never mind. They're having their own conversation.
Oh.
We're having ours.
They're
I'm
having-
sorry. Their
the
chat
chat-
is having their own conversation, so my bad. They're just doing their own thing. My bad. Okay, so the other things I wanted to talk to you about before we run out of time, because we got a lot to get to still. What's happening with you? What do you play? You're playing video games now? What happened?
Oh yeah, dude. So I knew this would eventually happen with the PS5, but I've gotten really into like the single player video games again. The biggest thing I can't do is play online because that will be just a deterrent. Like my time will just disappear; it'll vanish. But I played through Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, which is regarded as, if not the best, one of the best Grand Theft Auto games of all time. And that was awesome. Took forever, but I started playing the new Hitman that just came out last week, and man, that was just such a humbling experience. It was just such a reminder of like, I am not good at video games, dude. So for those who aren't familiar with Hitman, it's a single player game where it's designed for the purpose of you replaying it as many times as you want, because there's so many different challenges, you're just not going to get through it. So you may have one target, but there's 6 different ways to kill that target, right? So you got to go back and do it again and again, and they're all funny ways of killing the target.
Dang.
So it's all really encouraging you to, hey man, just replay this. My first night with that game, I kid you not, I spent like an hour stalking my 2 targets, not knowing what the hell I needed to do. It got
what
to
do you
the
mean?
point.
Like you just got to kill them, right?
Sure, but they're surrounded by security. Like there was just no way
okay.
I would be able to pass the mission. Just straight up trying to kill them. It took me like over an hour to just like get the first guy, and then I couldn't kill the second guy, so I rage quit.
Wow.
So the next day, I start playing the game again, and I realized that there's missions within the mission that guide you to kill the guys. So it was just a humbling experience to realize, like, man, I do not know what the hell I'm doing with these video games. I am out of my realm.
Dang. I can't do these games, man. It's too much. It's too much. Like GoldenEye was a first-person shooter game that I could do, and even that was too much. I was like, let me just do the play mode where we get all the friends together. But yeah, like these missions are crazy, man.
The that same studio that did the Hitman trilogy, that's highly regarded, is doing a James Bond game. They just started develop. They just got the intellectual property for it, so they're developing.
Wow.
They're developing a James Bond game, so we could be playing a James Bond GoldenEye in like 2023 or 2024.
You think they'll release it for the Nintendo Switch?
No, I would guess not. I mean, maybe.
Man, by the way, my Mario Kart, I've mastered it now. Like,
Does your daughter still enjoy watching you play?
She loves watching me play, and she started play a little bit, but she loves watching me play. Like I've got it down to where again it's like the hardest level, the fastest one. I'll pick the worst vehicle. I'll pick the heaviest character, hard items, and I still just smoke everybody now. I guess the next thing is online play, but I don't want to do it because I'm like you. I don't want to be trapped into that because I know I'll
Yeah,
get addicted. I just don't want that. Okay, I got some things here for you. Since the last time we talked, we officially have a new president. Shout
we
out
do.
to President Biden. For those of you that were, by the way, so like, hey, President Trump is still your president. You got to call him president. I hope you guys are saying President Biden as well. Because
Mm.
a lot of people made a big stink about that. Hey, Trump is still your president. So you got to say President Trump.
You got
No.
to respect the office.
Yeah, you got to respect the office, okay? You got to respect the office. So I need you here to say President Biden, not just Biden, not Joe. No, I need you to hear.
Not
I need
Dementia
to
Joe.
hear you say President Biden. What do you think of the inauguration? We'll get to the memes in a second because that was the best part of it. Overall, what did you think? And did
I
you
mean,
watch it?
I, not really. I had it on, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. I know we were all in love with Mrs. Obama's outfit. That was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, your girl Lady Gaga performed. Then they made the mistake of putting Jennifer Lopez after Lady Gaga. Apparently, who booked that?
Yo, you
Like
can't do that.
you
Can't
can't.
do that. You can't put a legit singer before a performer.
There was a really nice poem. Apparently, right? I still haven't gotten a
Mm-hmm.
chance to watch that. I mean, it's an inauguration. It is what it is. I was a little kind of like, aren't we in the middle of a pandemic? So should we really be doing this? Like,
Yeah.
should we have this many people? But it's whatever. Like, those rules don't really apply anymore. We're all just really tired of it. I don't have any strong feelings about it, as you could tell.
It was
Aside
I
from the
watched
fact that
it,
Jennifer
yeah.
Lopez should not have gone after Lady Gaga.
Yo, it was so J, man, J I literally can't stand J Lo performing. I don't think she's that good.
Why? Oh, okay.
She's not that good of a singer. She's like her dance stuff is good, right? Like for what she does, and she's J Lo, but it's not that captivating to me.
What does she even sing? Did she sing Jenny from the Block?
No, she did. What song did she do? Gosh, man, hold on. J Lo inauguration. I'm blanking. I know. Man, I watched
Was it one of her original
No. There's no
compositions?
original.
No.
No. It was man. What was it? This land is your land and America the beautiful.
Mm.
And then she dropped in a Spanish line in there, just to let people know like she's Jennifer
She's with the
Lopez.
culture.
She's like,
Good
yeah,
for
we
her.
know J Lo. We know J Lo. Come on, we get it. We get
She's
it.
for the
You're dating
culture,
A
dog.
Rod now. Stop. The worst thing she did was made A Rod legit. I hate that. That's the worst thing she's ever done. For real. Like A Rod was. I mean, we talked about this. There's a documentary about how he's covering up steroid use and baseball's involved in this and all that. And now she's on Shark Tank, or he's on Shark Tank, and he's like the most lovable guy and doing baseball broadcasts. It's like, no, this dude was an
He's
outcast.
not good at it either. He's not.
Horrible at it. He's
They
horrible
really took
at it.
Jessica Mendoza off of the national ESPN Baseball Tonight broadcast for him, and he is not good.
He's not good. Omar says she should have stuck to In Living Color and playing Selena. Okay. And El Jefe says Rahil's jealous of the Yeeks attention she got that he doesn't.
That's a fair point.
It's a really good point. Although my Yeeks are probably stronger. I just don't have to flaunt them. I don't have to flaunt them like J-Lo. Okay? You're not going to see a naked cover for this podcast. I don't need that attention like she does.
Why not?
She's like, you know what? I'm just going to go naked. Nobody's going to listen to this album anyways. Let me just put it. Hey guys, it's J-Lo. I'm naked. And it wasn't even a story. It was just like, oh, okay, J-Lo's just
that
thirsty.
was it. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like
J-Lo's
she's
naked,
literally
whatever.
just naked and everybody's just like, J-Lo, stop. You're so popular. You're one of the most famous people. Stop. You don't need this.
To be
You don't
fair,
need this.
we're all kind of desensitized to that now, though. Like,
Yeah.
remember every time Kim Kardashian would post a nude or somewhat like a racy photo, people would flip out, and now if she does it, it's just like, oh, guess it's Thursday.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
look, Kim
we're
needs
so
some
desensitized
attention.
to it now.
Um,
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
let's
good for
talk
you,
about
Kim.
let's talk about the memes. Okay, you've got a theory on the Bernie meme.
I don't know if it's necessarily a theory, but it's an observation. It's more of an observation than a theory.
Okay.
But we have our this is gonna sound snobby as hell. I can already tell. Our society has gotten to the point now where we just move on from stuff so quickly, and it's invaded like our entertainment and pop culture stuff, like memes, to the point that people were genuinely annoyed on social media that people were posting memes of Senator Bernie Sanders 2 days after they became viral. It was literally 2 days where I first noticed. So the inauguration was what, on Thursday or Wednesday? I
Wednesday.
think
Wednesday.
Wednesday. By Friday, people were bitching on Twitter about the Bernie memes.
Yeah.
Like 2 days. 5 years ago, like the Bernie meme would have gotten us through the spring.
That's
People
a
were
good point.
complaining in 2 days.
Dude, Crying Jordan carried us for a year.
Years, not even a year. Crying Jordan meme carried us, put us
Yeah.
on his back, and got us through tough times.
He took
But
it
now people
personal.
don't have the patience for that. Yeah, he took it personal.
You're right. I was one of those people. I got annoyed on
You
Saturday.
were, you were bitching on Twitter.
Yeah, I got annoyed on Saturday. That was my cutoff.
Well,
I was like, okay, we're
see,
done with
but
this.
3 days is a cutoff now.
Yeah, I was done. I was like, but there were still some good ones, right? Like
Oh, there were
yesterday.
some really good ones.
There's the original crop of Bernie memes that first came out was awesome, right? Like it was great. Then we saw the tap out one where he's putting an arm bar on somebody and Joe Rogan and
Yeah.
everybody's freaking out. Like that was funny, right? But then I sent you somewhere. I was like, okay,
That's
if
enough.
this part of the internet is doing it, we're kind of over this.
Oh, damn! What was it? I don't remember. I do remember you sending that, but I don't remember.
I'm gonna
Can
put
you
it in
say
the.
it
No, I can't say it. I can't say
in the
it.
private chat?
Yeah,
Okay, put it in the private chat. I don't remember that.
where he was sitting next to him. Oh, you don't remember it? Okay.
Oh, you're right. Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
you're
we're
right.
kind of
I do
done with
remember.
this. We're like, okay, we're done with this. Like, it was cool. It was funny. It was creative at the time, right? Like with all the different ways to use it, and we all made our personal jokes about it. It was hilarious. Friday was okay. Like it was fine. Like the Friday was mainstream because I
Yeah,
sent it on Wednesday to my group chat, my family group chat, and I was like,
crickets.
nobody got it. They're like, is that Bernie Sanders? What? And this was like an hour after it went viral on Twitter, right? And the next day, sure enough, I wake up on Thursday and my aunts and my uncles are sending the funniest Bernie stuff, right? Then Friday, the companies got a hold of it, right? Like there were some funny ones from companies and restaurants. And then Saturday, we're like, okay, we're good. We were Bernied out. What else do we
But
want?
I will say, the epic crossover was when we got the Bernie choking out Conor McGregor, who had just been knocked out.
That's so stupid.
That was good.
That was
You
good.
can't tell me we're done with a meme when a banger like that drops.
You know what? Saturday, but that was still Saturday, right? I'm good
Yeah,
with it. I was
that was
getting a
Saturday
little
night.
tired. I'm still good with. You know what I was done with on Sunday when people are photoshopping Aaron Rodgers' face into the Bernie meme. Like, no,
Oh, that was a thing?
yeah, that's not funny. See,
I
that's
didn't
when
see
it was
that.
like, okay, we're done here, guys. We're losing it. But a lot of good came from that meme. By the way, he put it on a sweatshirt. They sold out, and they're going to be donating all the money to charities in Vermont.
To
And
Vermont, Meals on
what was it?
Wheels.
Sorry, Meals on Wheels. And then
In Vermont, yeah.
the
They, they,
teacher who
they
made the
sold out.
mittens. Go ahead.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you. They sold out, and so they put out. They didn't drop them again exactly, but they put them out on T-shirts with the same
Oh, good.
cause for Meals on Wheels in Vermont.
And you'll probably get it like next spring, right? Like it's gonna take
Yeah,
forever to print these. It's like a Kid Cudi vinyl. You'll never get it. Like it's gonna be a year before you get it. I'm
we'll
still
send it
mad
to you
about that.
sometime.
Yeah, some
You may or
you
may
paid me
not.
the money. Yeah, who knows?
You may or may not get a tracking number.
Yeah, like
It
wait a
might just
minute.
show up on your doorstep.
What are you gonna do? Go dispute a charge from 8 months ago? Good luck with
Yeah.
that, buddy. But it was really good. And the teacher who made the mittens for Senator Sanders, she put up a bunch for auction and is donating the proceeds as well. So like
Oh, did
there's a
she?
lot
That's
of good,
cool.
yeah. So there's a lot of good that came from it. Then the Jordan ones, the Dior's. that was nuts when that happened on Wednesday, and I tweeted something out. It went viral because the wife of the guy who wore the shoes, which by the way, he's like a high up in Facebook. It's not like he's just some random
Oh,
guy.
is
Like,
he?
yeah, I'll get you his official title. But I just tweeted something, and that was it. My Twitter it was done for the day because it got picked up.
Yeah. Now that you say that, it makes sense why he had $20,000 sneakers on.
Mm-hmm.
Now it
I
all
don't know
makes
how
sense.
much do you think he paid for it. What do you think? Do you think he got him? Because there's no hooking up on those, right? I think that one you just have to
No,
pay. Yeah.
those were pretty exclusive. Yeah,
Let
he
me
might have paid
see.
resale, but if he has a big job on Facebook, he could probably swing that. I would guess.
Yeah, Nicholas Ajagu, I think is his name. Nicholas. I don't want if Nicholas Ajagu. I want to get his job for you real quickly. But yeah, he's high up in Facebook, like global, like part of the global development or something. I saw it when I was reading the story on him, and I just
Good for him.
forgot. Yeah, that's why I was like, man, this can't just be a random dude, man. But yeah, sure enough. Let me get you his title. Let me see. Blah blah blah. Buy me some time here, Jose. I'm gonna read this
So the
story.
comments are talking about you almost getting scammed by someone on Twitter. We're gonna have to talk about.
Yeah. Oh, let me tell. While I look this up, let me tell you. So the tweet officially got liked by 11,000 or 12,000 people. I muted the conversation finally. I was like, I can't. Because literally every time I would refresh it, there was like 400 new likes on it, whatnot.
Good
So
lord.
it got seen by I want to say like 700,000 people or plus. How many new pickups I got, new followers I got from that tweet?
One.
One. Yep. He is a Jagu. I don't. I hope I'm not saying it wrong. He is a global head of partnerships at Facebook.
Mm. He's
Mm.
global and he's ahead.
He's banking.
He can afford a pair of
So
Dior
yeah,
Jordan ones.
but it was cool. It is funny to see something go viral on your own tweet. Like remember last time it went was the COVID-19 Tiger King tweet. That one was like 12,000 retweets. That one was nuts.
I don't remember that
one
one.
I remember the one where it was a Tiger King basketball. Somebody recreated
Oh, right. That was
the
hilarious.
NBA 2K Tiger King
Yeah,
thing or something. And I
yeah.
stole their content pretty much. I just
You
tweeted it
did.
like it was mine, and I got credit for it. They're like, "What the? Hey, we put in all this work,"
You
but it got
Chapmaned
picked
it.
up. It was like that one was nuts. I'll give you the official numbers. But one of the cool things from that is like seeing the different parts of Twitter comment on it and like go into their profiles. Like I went to pretty much everyone's profiles. Like where are you? Where is it? Why is this person from Indonesia commenting? But it's so much fun to see how people set up their profiles and like what picture they use and what their
Yeah.
media is. Like I just love that. It's super stockish, but it's
Oh,
so fun to
definitely.
like how else do you learn about people, right? Like it was cool. So it was pretty wild.
Viral Raheel over here.
El Jefe says, I think he bought them because a hundreds creator tweeted his wife to ask him if it was him. Okay, so somebody that sold it, the resale guy sold them. So he was the one asking the guy who sold it. Let's say Sneaker Summit did, right? They're like, hey, was that if I bought a pair from there and you're there? They go, hey, Jose, was Raheel wearing the Chicago's? Was that him? And you're like, yeah, that was him because I bought it from
Yeah.
him. That makes sense. Okay, the scammer. Do you want to talk about that real quickly? Anything else from the Bernie memes or the Dior's?
Uh no, I think we hit on the inauguration, yeah.
I have one more thing for the inauguration, but let me just give this. I'll just do the story real quick. So, on this American Life podcast, NPR, one of the best podcasts out there, one of the best radio shows out there. This week, I was listening to it on my walk earlier today. They talked to a Capitol policeman from the raid, from the domestic
Oh
terrorist
wow.
attack, and
Sure.
it is crazy, man. It is scary, like him describing what happened, and he's like,
Oh wow.
he's just like, it was a black officer,
Uh-huh.
and he was just saying like what happened, what people were saying to him. You can only imagine. It
Yeah.
is that bad, and the episode's really good. It's about, we're a year from COVID-19 starting, the first case, and it just recaps a bunch of stuff. It's a really emotional episode. They talk about the raid, and I highly recommend it. Another one, I wanted to ask you about this, the vaccination. It's been a disaster here, dude.
It
It's been
has.
so bad. Are you? I think I asked. Did I ask you this 2 weeks ago? Are you vaccine judging people right now?
What do you
In
mean by
that,
that? Like,
so yeah, so in that, if somebody's not in group 1A or 1B, 1A is healthcare frontline workers, right? 1B is frontline workers, but more like postal service and more
right?
teachers and stuff like that, 65 and older with underlying health conditions. If you're not in that group and you got a vaccine and you're flexing on people on social media, are you judging them? Because people
No.
are getting in.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, not really.
Okay.
I haven't. I guess you asked me because you have.
I haven't gotten mine yet. No.
No, you're because you're
Oh,
judging
I am
people.
absolutely. My brother-in-law got one, and he's not obese, okay, and he doesn't have any underlying health condition, but he got through, right? And somehow he got through, and I was
Yeah.
like, why did you get one? Like, people still need it right now. Like, your
So he
parents
could
need one, but
so
yeah,
he could live his life, dog. What do you mean why?
he's not. There's no life living of this guy. Okay, he spends time with his fiance. He spends time with me. He spends time with baby Trickster and the other nephews, and that's it. There's no life living. Okay, he's not going to no clubs or anything.
Sammy
But
said you got to cop it off StockX. Maybe, hey,
you really, dude,
maybe give StockX and Goat some vaccines. Let's get this figured out. Are
dude,
they still having to dump vaccines? I didn't keep up with that story, but there was like some that
yeah.
weren't even usable anymore.
So what's happening right now? And what vaccine privilege is. So and I've been contacting a bunch of people that don't live here who have parents here and like trying to help them. And what's happening is, one, there's like random links that open up, right? Whether it be Methodist, Memorial Hermann, whatever hospital, right? They just randomly open up and you just randomly get through. If you don't, try again, right?
Yeah.
Then the other thing that's happening, which is really interesting, is around 4:30 or 5:30, you show up to a spot that is administrating the vaccines, and if they have extras, they have to use it. You can't throw them away. So that's how some people are getting through as well that aren't in those groups.
Wow.
Yeah, but overall, it's been a disaster. And there's one of the things the new administration is dealt with is building this from the ground up. Like,
Yeah, because there
because
was
the
no
previous,
plan.
yeah, there's no plan. It's been bad, man. Like, you can try all the trackers. Good luck calling a clinic, because I had to try. I was like, let me see if I can help somebody out and find something for them. It's been impossible.
Josh just dropped a comment of the night in the chat.
What do you say? Don't give Raheel the vaccine. He's going to short the vaccine to make doses last longer. That's so stupid. It's so dumb. He's talking about how, yeah. For
I
those
hope
who don't
Baby
know, I used to
Trickster's
short my
mom.
baby Trickster.
Yeah, I hope Baby Trickster's mom takes her to get her vaccine and not you, because you're gonna
Yeah,
try
I'm
to.
like, give me half and give her half. She doesn't need. She's
Yeah.
not. She's only 50 pounds, or however much she weighs. I don't think she's 50 pounds, but she doesn't need all of this. I think
Oh
she's 50
my,
pounds. I don't know how much
that's
my daughter weighs. I have to think about this.
that's such a good tweet.
That's really good. That is pretty good. Sammy was saying the Spicy Boy merch, not vaccines, buddy. He's not saying put vaccines on StockX. He's saying the Spicy Boy
Oh, I
merchandise.
thought he meant the vaccines.
That would be kind of weird. But okay. What else did I have for you regarding the vaccine? Anything else? No, I think that's it. So, by the way, yeah, the scammer story. So on Twitter, some guy hits us up, or we were all tweeting about Connor's fight in our group chat, whatever. We're DMing each other, and we found this one tweet. So we go to the tweet, and the first comment is this verified account, and he's like, "Hey, bro, big fan. How can I send you some free shoes?" And I was like, "This is straight." And this is another account, not us. Who was the account? It was one of your one of the
It
guys
was
that used to come on your show.
it was Andreas Hell from Sporting News MMA
Okay.
writer.
And in his comment was like, this guy just offering free shoes, and you're like, I didn't know he was this popular.
Yeah.
So then I was like, this is interesting. So I followed that guy, and literally as I hit follow, the scammer DMs me, goes, hey, bro, how can I send you some free shoes? I'm a huge fan. And that's when all three of us were like, what the hell is happening here? This is strange. People don't just send you free shoes, okay? I think everyone knows that if it's too good to be true, it's probably
It
not
is.
true. Yeah, it's not, yeah, it is then. If it's too good to be true, something's up, right? And guess what? You found a tweet that explained it all.
Yeah, it's actually. God, I wish I remembered his name, but he hacked the account of a former MLS player who had a blue check mark, who's followed by the MLS, and a bunch of there's a couple soccer writers that I follow that follow him. And the soccer player was never able to recover his account. And this guy just uses his account with a blue check mark to scam people with blue check marks.
Man.
Which
And it
I kind of respect him trying to hustle people with blue check
yeah.
marks. But his game is so weak. We figured it out in like 5 minutes.
Yeah. Remember, and like he was using the same pictures for everything. Like, I
Yep.
got your boy has a hookup on this and this and that. I'm like, damn, he has every shoe like you want. And then you start looking at the pictures, you're like, wait, this doesn't look like a real picture. This looks like he just
No.
grabbed something from the internet, right? It
Yeah.
wasn't like, because usually if you have something like that, you're putting up multiple shots. And we found the scam like that. It was so funny. We're like, damn, that's nuts.
I just how does his account still exist?
I have no idea. I reported it. Who
You're
knows?
a
Maybe
hero.
if it comes from another blue check mark, maybe that helps. I don't know. I'm just trying to do my part.
Look at you doing your part
Yeah.
for the community.
Sometimes, what's the old saying, Jose? Not all heroes wear capes.
Right.
So, right here. Okay, but this one does because I actually do like capes. They're kind of nice. Nabil says that the vaccine distribution, you could just centralize the supply chain logistics to one government, run CRM tool. It'd be expensive, but they would get a huge discount from Salesforce. Yeah, there needs to be a better way, man. HEB is getting it pretty soon.
Oh,
I know.
nice.
Yeah, one of my friends told me. I haven't looked this up, but Johnson and Johnson, their single dose vaccine is going to be ready in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So hopefully it gets easier and easier. But man, the people that need it, like senior citizens, they're left on their own.
Yeah.
And if you don't live at an assisted living home or any kind of retirement community, dude, if I can't find it, I'm a kid of the internet. I live on the internet. If I couldn't do it, there's no way a 70-year-old, man or woman can do it. It's
Yeah,
impossible.
you sent us like those signups for it, and it filled up immediately. The
Mm-hmm.
signups you texted me a couple weeks ago, that filled up
Mm-hmm.
immediately. Like it's completely booked up.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of old people, what the hell was happening with Dick Vitale?
That's a damn good question. I don't know the answer
Yo,
to.
what the hell was happening?
So Dick Vitale, good old Dickie V, big time Tampa Bay sports fan, was just having a day yesterday on
Yo.
Sunday during the NFC title game, where my man posted like 8 pictures of himself with a bottle of Pepto Bismol, plus or whatever their hardcore version is called. And the pictures are like the most uncomfortable looking pictures ever. He's
Like in
sweating
so much
profusely.
pain.
Yeah, he legit looks in pain as he's watching his Buccaneers and Tom Brady advance to a Super Bowl. And I was just like in awe at like the epicness of and the confusion of whether or not this was intentional advertising
Yeah.
or if he was just doing them a solid because Dickie V's kind of an older guy.
Yo.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he was just like literally chugging Pepto Bismol and posted pictures with it. But it doesn't look that way because he literally posted like 6 selfies with the Pepto Bismol bottle.
And not only selfies, but the worst looking selfies.
They were not flattering at all.
This is what they're. If the selfie had a sound, it would sound like this. Oh, oh! He just made these like weird faces. You're like, dude.
You could see his double chin and everything. Like
Yeah,
terrible
so
angles.
bad, man. It was so bad. Speaking of Brady, back to the Super Bowl 10 times. 18% of all Super Bowls include
Wow.
Tom Brady. He's been in the Super Bowl. He's been playing 21 years. Been in there 10 times. So, I mean, just it's incredible. He was already the GOAT. You asked a good question. Why are we having this conversation again about him being the GOAT when he's already the GOAT? Like, what happened?
Yeah, what changed in the last year since we all kind of had the. I feel like it was like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, where we all kind of just agreed, like, yeah, Brady's the best.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're having this conversation again because I guess he led another team to the Super Bowl that wasn't the Patriots. Like, whether or not they made the Super Bowl this year, did we really need to have this conversation again?
Nope.
Don't we already kind of know it? Like, wasn't what he did for 20 years in New England like a testament of that already?
Mm-hmm.
I just
I'm
found it
with you.
odd on Sunday night and today, people talking about that a lot
Yeah,
on the
there's no.
socials.
You're right. If they had lost yesterday, even if they blew the lead, he threw 3 interceptions. The GOAT status it would remain untouched. It'd be fine.
100%.
Yeah, like it's all good. Even if they get blown out by Mahomes and the Chiefs, which I don't think they will, because that rush is pretty nasty, and I think they're gonna get after it. Even if they get blown out, it's not gonna touch his GOAT status. Like he'll be fine. Like he is the GOAT. That's it. He's the greatest of all time. Everything right now is house money.
That's
Right?
a perfect way of putting it. Yeah.
Right? We're on top. We made our money back. We're good. Everything else, it's just house money. We're having fun with it now. Whatever. We're just getting to a Super Bowl casually. It was so. I told my brother, and I gave my picks on NTV as well, and I said, "Man, it's a team of destiny." I know we don't consider that, but it all lined up. Tampa Bay had all the weapons. They had to win 3 road games, and they did it. And they're going to be in the Super Bowl. Like it, I don't think Green Bay was that good to begin with. Aaron Rodgers is great. I don't think that team was that good. Like it just didn't. The NFC didn't feel that good this year, and that's
No,
the
it
best
didn't.
team in the NFC. Is like, okay, whatever. It's wide open.
It's no, it definitely offensively. I thought they were the real deal, but my goodness, some of those I mean that last drive was just unreal.
Hmm.
First Rogers not even attempting to rush on third down, to not even to just score, just to get it closer to where you would have no doubt in your mind
Yeah.
of we have to go for it. It's fourth and goal from the 3 or from the 2. We have to go for it. He didn't even try that, even though he had the space to, and then kicking the field goal. I don't care if an analytics said you had the same percentage to win if you did or didn't kick it there. Like you had to have gone for it there. It was just
Yeah.
you're right, team of destiny. That's what it feels
That's
like.
all it is. And look, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm like, man, screw you guys. You drafted Jordan Love. I'm
Screw
not running.
you guys.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm
Well, you want
going
me to
home.
sacrifice my body for that third down? No, I'm good.
I'm
I'm
going
good.
home to the Rams.
Ooh, Rams
No,
or
they can't afford
Niners?
that. Oh, there you go, the Niners.
He's going to the
Rams can't afford
Niners.
that.
He's going to the Texans.
No, God, no, he's not.
Brady for Deshaun. Who says no? I mean, Aaron Rodgers for Deshaun. Who says no?
Aaron Rodgers. Aaron
Omar
Rodgers for sure
says
says no.
the Texans should have picked up Tom. They're already trying to be mini New England. Tom don't want no part of
No.
this. Why would he come here? He's like, let me go to a place that is actually run correctly. And here's one last stat we'll leave you with. El Jefe says, you saw the Curry 3-point percentage stat that if you put Curry's 3% to Brady's Super Bowl appearances, he said Brady has a better chance of making a Super Bowl than Curry does of making a 3-pointer. That's pretty damn good.
I mean, Brady's at what? Right below 50% to make the Super Bowl?
47? Yeah,
He's been in the league
48%.
21 years, and this is his 10th Super Bowl. Yeah.
Sick, man. That's
He might not be
unbelievable,
the
dude.
GOAT, though, apparently.
No, Joe
Is what the
Montana.
streets.
Joe Montana, baby.
The
Joe
streets are saying.
Montana. No, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. That's it. That's it. He's the man. All right, we're out of time. I want to recommend one episode of This American Life. I know I talked about it earlier, but I forgot to bring this up with you. It was about the vaccine, right? Like this isn't the first time where people have decided who gets to live, right? Like kind of breaking it down in that term. So in 1961, this is a really interesting story. This is 3 weeks ago. So I forgot the episode name. I'll get it for you in a second. But listen to it. There's this thing called the God Committee. In 1961, in
Oh my God.
Seattle, there was a thing called the God Committee when dialysis was just getting started. You could only allow like a handful of people to do it. And so this committee would gather and discuss like who would get a chance to live because they were all going to
Jesus.
die anyways. Like this group of people, they're going to die, right? But who gets a chance to live and who would add more value to society?
My God.
So it's
That's morbid.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a movie coming out called The God Committee, but it's not focused on the actual story, but it is based off of that. It looks like so
Okay.
it's like a group of people that get to decide who gets a heart transplant or something. But yeah, I wanted to mention that, dude. It was one of the craziest episodes I've ever heard. I couldn't believe it when I heard that.
Way to end the podcast on a bad note. Jeez.
Yeah,
In a
well, no, it's a
dark-
high note because there is
It's
something
dark.
good. No, but there is something that good, something good that comes from it. Like it's really important. It's called the. Oh man, why is the? Where's the episode? I hate freaking Apple's podcast app. I can't like because once you listen to an episode, it's
It
gone.
disappeared. It's gone forever. Yeah.
I don't know what it's called. I don't know where's the episodes I've listened to previously played. Okay, it's called Making the Cut, episode 729 on January 10th.
They've done 729 episodes.
Yeah. Oh, this American Life is a radio show that they put on podcast. It's been around forever. Yeah. It's like the OG radio show. NPR,
Okay.
what's up? Okay, one more request. Can you do Butters before we go? Sammy
why?
said. Because you did such a good
Oh, I
Cartman.
did I felt like it was a terrible Cartman. All right, what
Do
do you want me to
Butters.
say as Butters?
It's anything. Just say anything. Go. End the show.
I didn't take your. I can't do a Butters anymore. I feel like I can only do it when I'm not trying.
Yeah, I guess.
I didn't take your drone yesterday, Dad. I just saw the episode where they all have drones now.
All right, we're
I
done.
didn't take your drone, Dad.
That's pretty good. That was actually pretty good. Okay, we're done. Thank you everyone for listening. We will talk to you next Monday. Please share the podcast. If you're still listening, thank you so much. And we will be back next week.